Welcome to episode number 4 of the Q&A show. How's it going?
I'm great.
Okay.
It's a great little Sunday we got going here. Phoenix, Arizona.
It's hot outside. It's cool in here.
Nice. Looks good. We got Chris Price in the house.
Chris Price is over here doing some camera work. He was fortunate enough to ask us a question last episode
And I
video.
thought we killed that, with the exception of the little bit about the intermittent fasting, which I couldn't quite get out of my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, we got another question today. Who do we got a question for?
This question, Meredith sent this in, and she says, "I've heard that muscle weighs more than fat. Can you talk about that? Or is that true?"
Question.
She says.
You know what? I've heard this multiple times. It's so funny because it's something that does need to be reiterated time and time again, just because people are always unsure about this. In the trainer world, it's funny because it kind of makes people mad because we've heard it so much. But essentially, 5 pounds of muscle is the same thing as 5 pounds of fat. They're both 5 pounds. However, think of a brick as being 5 pounds of muscle, and think of a bag of feathers being 5 pounds of fat. It's going to be a much bigger bag of feathers than the actual brick. So the volume is obviously going to be much larger for fat than it is going to be for muscle.
It's a density issue.
The density, yeah. So essentially, if you look at an individual who has more body fat, they're obviously going to have they're going to be thicker, essentially, than if someone who's leaner, they're going to be a little bit thinner. So, that pretty much answers it. Like, I don't really know how else to go.
But you know where I think this comes from is that, and especially you have a lot of clients that are women in the gym, is women are afraid of putting on muscle because they hear that it weighs more than fat, muscle weighs more than fat. And so they have this immediate fear.
That actually brings up another question. I had someone tell me the other day too that, muscle can convert to fat, and it's like, it doesn't really, they're two different substrates, so they're two completely different things. If you stop working out, the muscle doesn't turn to fat. You just lose muscle mass and you just gain body fat.
Right.
So they're actually two completely different things. You're just going to alter that body composition because you're no longer adding resistance to break apart your muscle fibers so that you can, repair and grow and get stronger. So ultimately, that's really, that's another myth that people have, and that's a big issue. So. Yeah. But I think that answers it. I mean, to say. Like, you got to understand they both weigh the same. You just want to try to have as much lean muscle mass as you can so that you are technically thinner. It's going to get back to the whole point of...
And not carry that fear that putting on... Yeah. The scale is like the worst enemy.
For sure. But then you also got to understand too, like we said, I think it was last episode, I don't remember, it was talking about the visceral fat and the subcutaneous fat is having both of those be as eliminated or as low as possible so that you're going to get leaner, you're going to have more muscle mass, but then you're going to be healthier overall in the long run. So I think that covers it. Yeah,
that's covers it for me.
Do you want to do the close on this one?
No.
Okay.
Yes. No, go ahead.
Okay. So what we need you to do, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of our content. Like the little like thing. It's a little thumbs up down below. And then also comment, ask questions if you have any questions. We can definitely use them for future show episodes. And then on top of that, follow us on Snapchat, follow us on Instagram, and follow us on Facebook so that we can communicate and help you out.
Use that box below.